Welcome to The Red Menace. We're a comedy news podcast bringing you fun and weird local news stories from around Australia and sometimes even places not in Australia. Crazy, huh? We are brought to you today by the devil, plastic. I've removed all of the plastic from my recording setup. I now have a wooden microphone stand, so if you hear any creaks or any... My microphone's really heavy, so I'm not confident it's actually going to hold up.
You should have invested in some stronger popsicle sticks if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, it is. Well, I couldn't use sticky tape because it's plastic, so all my popsicle sticks are
it's masking tape. I'm sure masking tape has plastic in it, though, so you're going to have to think about that one.
I'm Chris, I forgot to say that.
And I'm Alison.
And let's get to some news.
Let's get to the news.
You want to open us up this week?
I sure do. This one isn't necessarily a specific newspaper. This has been all around the country because it's quite pressing and very difficult news for a lot of us to swallow.
I'm excited.
Uluru burnt down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got it's the Uluru, north of Newcastle, as Uluru wants to be.
Yeah, that's where Uluru... Yeah, if I didn't know the extra context about this, which you're about to give, my reaction would not have been laughter. Just that it would have been
like how the heck did a rock burn down?
Exactly.
Would be your reaction. Because you're not going to say a naughty word.
No.
Okay. So I've taken this from ABC News because I feel like we need only the best news source for this hard-hitting story.
Okay, fair enough.
So it says, the iconic fake Uluru Roadhouse on the Pacific Highway north of Newcastle has been engulfed in a fierce blaze and destroyed. Fire ripped through the Rock Roadhouse near Hawk's Nest on the mid-north coast, and the big Little Ayers Rock, a famous site visited on many road trips, is now no more.
There's so many things in that. Okay, can I get you to just sort of like slowly tell me the name of this establishment? Just quickly.
The Rock Roadhouse.
The Rock Roadhouse.
The Rock Roadhouse.
That's actually a really good name for a roadhouse.
And it still goes by the name Ayers Rock, unlike its politically correct cousin in the middle of the desert.
Yeah,
This one's all about free speech.
This is the edgy conservative Ayers Rock. Cool.
Absolutely. Did you ever go to this place?
No, I didn't.
Well, now it's too late, so too bad.
I don't know if I would have wanted to. At the same time, though, just the concept of like a fake Ayers Rock diner, roadhouse, whatever. There's something so... Well, no, it's deeply insensitive, but there's also something delightful about it. And
well, if you want to like ruin your delight, it was filled with a collection of gollywogs,
Jesus.
Which just to add to the fact that it's not your PC rock like the one in the middle of Australia, it's
It's your BC rock in that it's very old-fashioned.
It was built in the 1990s, apparently, as part of a theme park. And originally there were amusement park rides there.
It was like a racism theme park?
Well, apparently. That's the only logical conclusion I can come to. And my mum told me I need to cover this story, for the record. And she said she recently drove past it and it had been repainted a lovely yellow and green, which... to my knowledge, is not the colour that the original Ayers Rock is.
No. One of the colours is kind of... no, it's like red. That's the whole thing about it. It's like orange.
That's the whole thing. Right.
It's kind of a good piece of iconography for this podcast. No, yellow and green. That's fucked up. But that's also something I can imagine a really tone-deaf politician doing to like promote if we had the Olympics again. They'd be like, oh, we're going to paint Uluru the Australian colours.
Paint it green and gold for those Socceroos in the World Cup.
That'd be miserable.
And I think the best part is the top is just completely unpainted. So it's just like a white fiberglass kind of colour.
I really want to see an aerial shot of that. That sounds horrible. So it's like green and
It's quite in quite a dire state.
Well, it did burn down.
And I think there's certainly some kind of conspiratorial stuff happening there.
I wonder why anyone would want to burn that down. It's such a lovely, great thing to have exist. No one would be interested in... Maybe I fucking did it. Who knows?
Did you ever? Oh, well, you said you haven't been there, but there was a.
Well, I mean,
camp-
I would say that, wouldn't I? If
You would say that.
If hypothetically
Yes.
I had done a good deed
Yes.
like Robin Hood,
Yes.
except what I had done was instead of stealing from the rich and giving to the poor,
It was arson. It was straight up arson.
Yeah,
If that's
I
what
just-
you did, you would admit to it.
I would have just burnt down the rich's racist house.
But there was a camp on the same site as that Uluru,
Whoops.
and
Whoops. My bad.
but no one died.
Oh, cool.
No,
I take that
everyone's
back.
alive, as far as I'm aware.
I'm not
And
sorry
apparently,
anymore.
a bunch of people were just stopping by the side of the road to take photos of the Ayers Rock in flames. And to be honest, I can't say I wouldn't do the same.
No, that's wonderful. I'd be like, someone would be like, do you want to call the fire department? I'd be like, I would, I'm sorry, but I'm using my phone to take photos of the burning racist monolith.
I'm live streaming this on Instagram. I think you might have to get that one.
I'm sorry, can you call them? Like, I know it's important, but
I'm like, sorry, I've got this on Periscope. I can't call them either. It's like, oh, shit.
this is history that I'm watching right now.
This is history in the making.
The end
But
of
no-
a particularly shitty era.
No road trip north of Newcastle is ever going to be the same. It might be a little bit better.
I'm
in
okay with
fact.
that, yeah. How about I'll give us a story.
Yeah, throw in a story.
The headline. So this is from the Newcastle Herald, actually. So we're getting
Great.
a very Newcastle heavy episode.
Well, Newcastle Herald is an award-winning newspaper, so I trust this will only be the best.
Yeah, an award-winning Channel 9 newspaper. The headline is, "It's amazing what can happen when you get one digit wrong in a phone number." This, I think, may be the greatest love story ever told.
Okay.
A remote cattle station in the Northern Territory outback is a long way from Katara, which, for reference, is in Newcastle.
Yes, I've been there.
But these two areas were inadvertently brought together with a sporting team's group chat, which is used to communicate things like game and training information and ground closures due to wet weather. It was recently discovered that one of the players was not receiving the group messages. It turned out that one digit was wrong in a phone number. The messages were going to someone outside the team.
Oh no, what a conspiracy.
The call's coming from inside the house.
The messages are going outside the team.
The Katara Tigers representative who sends the messages received a call from a bloke named Trevor. I've been getting...
Like the fact that they use the word bloke.
I'm going to try and do what I imagine Trevor's accent sounds like.
Well, he's a bloke, so it has to be
Yeah.
really bogan.
I've been getting messages from you all year about training, Trevor said. Tigers rep. I'm really sorry. We only just realised we had the wrong number, and I've recently fixed it. You should have sent me a text message, and I would have taken you off the list a month ago. Trevor. I don't really know how to send messages. I only know how to read them on the screen and make phone calls when I have satellite reception. You can leave me on the list. I don't get many messages, so it's fine.
Oh, poor Trevor. What's his phone number?
Tigers rep. Satellite reception? Where are you from? Trevor. I'm in the middle of nowhere up in the Gulf country on a remote cattle station. I drive road trains of cattle across the Northern Territory. There's not much mobile contact up here. I often get home and say to my wife, I got a message today. Training's cancelled due to wet weather, and we both have a little chuckle. This is the most, like, pure
know what
and
the
joyous...
most-
Yeah.
Depressing thing about this, though, just bringing it home, making it real. It's
Cool.
probably drought where he is. There's probably no wet weather for training to be
Oh,
cancelled
that's
from.
actually... Shit, I didn't think about that. That's kind of mean, huh?
That's really mean. They're
Really
like
rubbing it in his face. Tigers rep? How could you?
How could you rub it in like that? Anyway, continue. I'm sorry to ruin the wholesome story like that.
Trevor had his daughter look up on that internet thing where Katara Park was.
On that internet
On that
thing.
internet thing.
Is that in quotation marks?
Internet thing is. But, and I think they've
God.
misused the quote. Or the quotation marks are in an interesting place because the words Trevor had his daughter look up on that, they are not in quotation marks. Only internet thing is. So there's some liberal use of them, yeah.
Well, there you go.
Trevor. We worked out you were near Newcastle. I didn't know if you were training the Newcastle Knights or maybe the Newcastle Jets. Tigers rep. That's very close. We're the mighty Katara Tigers.
Katara Tigers!
Trevor laughed. He went on to say it had become a running joke at the cattle station. Sometimes when he arrived home, his wife would say, "Is training on today?" Trevor would reply, "It must be. I haven't heard anything."
I love this story.
It's so, it's adorable.
It's so wholesome. It's just beautiful.
Trevor also told the Tigers rep that his wife would like to know how the team was going and whether they were winning many games. The Tigers rep said Trevor was a lovely bloke and a real character.
Is he staying on the mailing list?
Yeah, he was more than happy to continue receiving the team messages, but would like updates every now and again on how the team is doing.
Oh, that's so cute.
He needs status updates.
This is his friends. He's made his first friends. Beautiful.
I don't think there's any jokes to make about this story because it's so adorable.
It's just so beautiful, and we can't ruin it.
No.
With our
nastiness.
With our cynicism.
Exactly.
We can't ruin this. It's just, I love Trevor. I love the Katara Tigers. I just want everyone to be happy.
If this was a movie, I would watch it. Without reservation, I would watch this movie.
It seems like it would be the kind of movie that would be on Netflix, just like a really poorly made Netflix original, but it's really popular. This
is the Australian version of The Christmas Prince. This is...
It's absolutely the Australian version of The Christmas Prince.
You want to give me a story?
Sure. Let me just open up the story things.
The storybook. The storybook.
Now, you and I are both known occasionally to watch reality TV shows.
This is accurate.
But I don't think either of us watch House Rules, which is arguably the worst version of The Block.
Okay, but similar concept?
It's the same concept. Some white couples renovate houses, usually, but in this case, the difference is it's each other's houses.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
Now, recently, House Rules is finished, which is, I don't know when that finished, but I know it's finished recently because we've got another tie-in article about the winners.
Okay.
But now imagine you're working for, I believe this is news. Oh, it's Nine Media. Nine Media.
Of course. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, for the Bega District News, and you need to write a tie-in story about House Rules because you haven't got enough. So what angle will you take?
I guess I could do just a profile on what kind of cool designs. No.
Stop.
Okay.
Ghosts. That's right.
What the fuck? Jesus.
The winners of House Rules live in a haunted house.
Bullshit. They live in their house is haunted by the dreams of their fellow competitors.
Absolutely. So it says House Rules. The ghost in Toad and Mandy's Candelo house. Toad is the guy's name for reference. I think that's fairly spooky that his name is Toad.
I will be visualizing this man as the Toad from Mario, and nothing can stop me.
So it says, House Rules may have finished, but one spooky resident of Toad Heffernan's and Mandy Stone's Candelo home is not going anywhere. Speaking on Tuesday, Toad said there is a ghost that lives in his 150-year-old run-down former inn who is called Mrs. Mitchell. She's an old lady that lived and died in the house, he said.
I was sceptical at first, but there's been a lot of details that have come out in the last 30 seconds that have made me a lot more convinced about this house having a ghost in it. It's a 150-year-old run-down inn.
Former inn.
Inn. I'm shocked there's not more ghosts in it.
The word inn is inherently spooky.
Yeah, I've never heard the word inn and thought, yes, I want to party on that. I've thought, no, I want to go to a motel, please.
I want to go
anything but I value my life.
Apparently this woman, Mrs. Mitchell, was an old lady that lived and died in the house. Her granddaughter lives in Candelo and she's in her 80s, so she's pretty old.
Wait, is that what it says?
That's what it says.
That's rude.
She's pretty old.
Why would you write that?
This is the direct quote from the talent.
So unnecessary.
She played a bit of havoc for the boys when we were living there a few years ago. Apparently, Mrs. Mitchell used to get up to mischief, like knock candles over and open doors. It's pretty full on, Toad said.
What do you think? Like, I feel like my problem is with ghosts is that they're very old fashioned. And I mean, I get it because they're like quite literally from, olden times. But I want a ghost that will, if it's going to annoy me, I want it to do it in like creative modern ways.
Yeah, I think knocking over candles is a little bit outdated, perhaps.
Like, I light like 4 candles a year. Like, that's not going to be super useful for me.
It's like a scented candle.
If like, and I know like lights flickering, but I want more than that. I want a ghost that like hacks someone's Tinder. Like, I want a ghost to be just like message all contacts you up.
And super likes the most douchebag people.
See, that is a ghost that I would be like, please, I need this exercised. I can't anymore with this. It's ridiculous.
He super likes the creator of that Ayers Rock on Tinder.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God. If you were a ghost, what would you do to haunt someone?
I would... Okay. Firstly, I would haunt a teen, because that's what you've got to do.
Yes.
Yeah, a teen.
Of course.
I would wait till they're playing like their Fortnite. And what I would do is I would find like the key on the keyboard that's going to nudge them like just that little bit into the bullets. And I would press that every time. And I would keep like, I would fuck up this kid's kill streak. It would be destroyed. He wouldn't even know it was me. I just want to see the suffering of this kid thinking he's not as good at this video game as he actually is.
This video game being Fortnite, correct?
Yes. The very popular thing with that my 11-year-old cousin loves so much.
We're going to tie it into some popular, references that for the youths, the youths out there. Yeah.
I mean, we've got the explicit tag, but I don't think we can't expand our brand a little bit to include the kids. I don't see why the kids can't listen to this.
The kids can listen to it because we mentioned Fortnite, so they're going to go wild for this. The haunted house angle is one that's new to me as far as reality TV show tie-in angles go. And I think the journalist here ought to be credited for that.
Did it get mentioned on the show at all, or is this a journalist original edition? You sounded a lot like a ghost there, Alison.
Well, it could have been a ghost. Perhaps it's Mrs. Mitchell. It said, in an episode broadcast for Channel 7's show in June, mother and daughter team Kim and Michelle of Tweed Heads, I don't like them, they're from Tweed Heads.
Does that count as racism? I think so.
I don't know. Are standing in a room when Michelle says she believes something has blown in her ear. I don't even know how to explain it. Somebody blew in my ear. I turned around and nobody was there, she said in the program.
I bet it was a mother-daughter team, right?
Yeah. It was her daughter, for sure.
Yeah, her daughter's fucking with her. Her
or if it's, I don't know if it's the mother or the daughter who that one was, but it's the other one.
It was the other one, yeah.
The just other one who
leaned over and had
that.
a little... And, yeah, they're just very quick. That's
very quick.
Mystery solved.
Yeah, very stealthy.
This inn, though, that's fucking haunted. There's no two ways about that.
It's an inn. It has to be haunted.
It has to be. But it only knocks over candles, so long as you don't light any candles, it's not an issue,
That's right,
honestly.
yeah. And what was the other thing it did? I missed... yeah. Well, the main thing is knock over candles and open doors.
It's a very
But I just think
ghost.
it's a very chivalrous ghost, isn't it? Opening doors for people.
That's true, actually. That's like
I thought chivalry was dead. Well, it is because it's a ghost. So.
Can I give another story?
Throw a story down.
Okay. This one is from Armadale Express. Mm-hmm. Horses in the south to celebrate birthday.
Okay.
Thoroughbred horses in the southern hemisphere won't be long in the face as they celebrate their birthday.
Oh my god.
First sentence.
Oh dear.
As they celebrate their birthdays all together on August 1st.
Every horse has the same birthday.
While equines from the north enjoy their special day on January 1st, both standardized dates are based on the breeding season in order to keep the racing industry fair.
Okay.
So horses have one of two birthdays.
This is quite rude.
January 1st or August 1st.
Right.
Which kind of sucks for See, okay, I don't know though. Is that bad or is that good? Like,
no, it's bad. You want your own birthday. You want to be spoiled.
Okay, let me pitch it to you though.
Okay. Convince me.
Problem is, I think a lot of this stuff is more applicable to humans than to horses. Because, like, okay, for example, if everybody had the same birthday, you could just
Right.
make that into a public holiday and we get an extra public holiday. Mm-hmm. If it's the August one, that's after tax time. So that's your tax refund is like good birthday money. Mm-hmm. What if people had a mating season?
Now, I counter this.
Wait. What? Because that's essentially what this is. Other animals have that. People don't. What if it was like 11 months of the year? People are like, they just don't, no, don't touch me. I'm not interested.
No one's fertile.
I want to go to sleep. I have a headache. But 1 month of the year, in fuck month, in
Oh,
one
God.
month of the year, that's the, Timmy, don't go into mum and dad's room, Timmy. Why not? Timmy, it's fuck month. You don't want to see that.
I don't think this podcast is appealing to the kids anymore.
No, I think I've screwed this up.
More Fortnite references, less Fortnite.
My mum sent me a message saying that there was too much swearing in the last episode, and
she said it was-
baby.
She said it was too sweaty, so that's okay.
That's true, yeah. Well, I feel like we've made, I don't know. Assuming fuck month is the same as, can we make it February? Because that's the shortest one. I feel like that's easy.
I think so.
And if you want to avoid it, you just got to go back and forth between the two different hemispheres.
Just constantly on a plane.
Although, you know there are going to be nasty people who are going to decide to live like right on the equator just because they want to get as much fuck month as possible.
No. Stop. Now, I'd like to counter your horse's birthday with a reason why that would not be a good idea.
Okay.
Now, you're little Chris, you're in pony school, and you're not a very popular pony because you're a red-headed pony. And a popular pony strolls along, and their birthday party is organised for the same day because every person has their birthday. Every horse has their birthday on the same day.
I didn't even
What
think about
do you
that.
do? What do you do?
I mean,
That's right.
I guess I would try and be like, can we join birthdays? But I know they're not going to do it.
No.
I know they're just going to overshadow mine.
No. They're all going to go to Farlap's birthday, not yours.
But Farlap's not even nice to them. Farlap's kind of a jerk, and everyone knows Farlap's a jerk, but they just like him because his dad's rich.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he has a rich celebrity jockey. And
Yeah.
discrimination, I see.
You don't even have a jockey, so good luck to you.
It's because red-haired horses are not allowed to race.
Oh dear, poor redhead horses.
You got. There's not much more to the story, honestly.
there's
I
not
was
much
just
more to
fascinated
say.
I was just fascinated by this concept of like.
Horses having the same birthday. That's a new thing. I've learned something today.
Exactly, we're an
I've
education.
been educated.
We're an I feel like we've got our most educational and our most blue bit in the same story, and
In the same segment.
you know what? I'll take that.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
Absolutely. Now I'm bringing you a story out of the US of A
Yes.
today. Just because it's a strange one, and this has been syndicated to every news website. You've probably come across it.
Do it.
Thieves use pram to smuggle shark.
Wait.
Now, what you're picturing is exactly what happened in this situation.
Oh my god. I made
Too
GarageBand angry. My laugh was too loud. A pop-up came up and it was like, are you sure?
Are you sure you want this? This is a little bit loud.
No, I do want this. This is, oh my gosh. Give me this story, please.
Two men have admitted to a bizarre heist that saw a shark smuggled out of a Texas aquarium in none other than a pram. Leon Valley Police Chief Joe Salvaggio, told reporters on Monday night that the men confessed to taking the 1.5-foot long horn shark from the San Antonio Aquarium after police officers showed up at one of their homes with a search warrant.
Oh my god. You can't see my face, but I'm grinning like an idiot. Oh, this is the best crime that's ever happened in history.
It sure is.
I have so many questions. I don't want to interrupt though, because I feel like you're going to get just like, oh wow.
The female shark, known as Helen, was brought back to the aquarium Monday evening and received a hero's welcome from employees.
This is the real Ocean's 11.
It's like the Ocean's 3, because there's 3 of them. Oh, 2 men, sorry. The 2 men. Well, there were 2 men and a woman. So it is Ocean's 3. 2 men and a woman.
And a shark.
And a shark. It's like a sitcom.
Shark in a pram.
A shark called Helen.
This sounds like something that I would expect to see in like a hypothetical 14th season of Friends when they've run out of ideas, like the one with the shark in a pram. Like, oh, you know how
it's jumping the shark to a new level, hey?
Exactly. How did they have like a fish tank at home or something? Or like, did the shark live?
Well, it said, the shark's still alive. It said, the men put the shark into a bucket and loaded it into the bottom part of the pram before placing the unusual cargo in a maroon truck.
That's incredible. When you're inside this aquarium and you're going to... I love the detail of the maroon truck, by the way.
Yeah, it's really important, the colour of their truck.
Paints a picture.
Yeah, it does.
Like, so if it's a small shark, so I guess they could be like reaching over into the tank to like fish out this shark. Did they have like shark retrieval tools? Did they just kind of like jump in and pull it out? Like, I can't imagine you could do this in a stealth way. I don't see how it's physically possible.
The shark is like flopping around everywhere.
Yeah, like even if you put it in a bucket, it's still going to be freaking out. Like, how can you possibly do this in like a subtle way? And they have security in.
Yes.
I guess this aquarium mustn't. This must be a super chill aquarium.
Oh, it says they staked out the shark pool for more than an hour before taking the animal. So they were standing around the shark's pool for more than an hour, just looking at the shark, waiting for the right opportunity to grab it. And it said when they grabbed the shark by the tail, the other 2 people wrapped it in a wet blanket.
So, okay, yeah, they kind of just leaned in and grabbed a shark out.
They leaned in and grabbed a shark
had to
out of the
loiter
water.
there for an hour to make sure no one watched them kidnap a shark. Like, how would you react if you saw someone kidnapping a shark? Because I think I would see it and I'd just be like, you must work here. There's no reason a normal person would do that.
Right, I would just assume they were staff.
They probably wouldn't have got caught if they just played it cool and they just went in, were like, all right, this is our shark. Oh, we're just taking this one out the back for tests. And they just walked out. This is the greatest heist in human history.
It is. It's a wonderful story, frankly. I'm a bit disappointed they didn't get away with it, though.
They deserve to, honestly. I think they should. The judge should let them off.
Yeah, they should be allowed to keep the shark after the good work they did.
What did they want a shark for?
I don't know, but follow-up point. The aquarium doesn't deserve to have the shark if they're an aquarium with such lax security that people can literally grab a shark out of the water.
All things considered, though, like, given that I think it's safe to say stealing this shark might just be one of the weirdest, dumbest ideas I've ever heard. So I think that if someone, like the aquarium at some point, probably like, do you need like security? And people are like, what? Are people going to like take the sharks?
What do you think? People are going to steal a shark? Come on, Gary, get with it. Get real.
Exactly. There's no logical justification for it.
That's true. Personally, I've never been tempted to steal a shark when I've been at an aquarium.
What animal would you steal?
If I could steal an animal from the zoo or from an aquarium.
From an aquarium specifically. Zoo is too broad. Zoo is too broad a spectrum. I want to know.
Yeah, from an aquarium. Probably, I don't know. Probably a penguin.
That's pretty. I would steal an octopus because they're the ultimate escape artists, and they would be able to help me with the heist after like they were in on it.
Well, that's true. They would be in on it.
Like, I would go up to the octopus. I wouldn't have to fish out for the octopus. I would just go up to the octopus tank, do like a come hither hand gesture, and it would just climb out. It would unlock it and come and get in my pram for me.
You slip it a $50 note and...
Oh no, I upset GarageBand again.
Sorry, GarageBand, this is a hard episode for you.
I've got another fun story.
Oh, throw it at me.
Okay, this is also from the Newcastle Herald.
Great.
Off-road driver says the right to use a four-wheel drive has become a mental health issue.
Okay.
Allowing four-wheel drive access to bush tracks and beaches allowed tens of thousands of Australians to maintain good mental health, the head of the nation's four-wheel drive community believes.
Maybe that's my problem. I've never once driven a four-wheel drive.
Why didn't we think of this?
It explains a lot. Explains everything.
Four-wheel drive action magazine editor John Ruth.
Love it.
I love that exists.
How do I get that job?
John Ruth led a 5,000 strong convoy of four-wheel drives from Stockton to Cessnock in Canterbury 2013. In February. Jesus Christ. In February 2013 to protest at proposals to restrict four-wheel drive access across the state. That's a scene from Mad Max Fury Road.
That's a lot of four-wheel drives.
5,000.
It's too many.
People complain about cyclists lining up on the road. I can't imagine if I saw 5,000 fucking Jeeps.
I would feel very alarmed, to be honest. Like, what the frick is happening here?
He has lent his support to Lake Macquarie councillor John Gilbert, who is concerned four-wheel drive access to 9 Mile Beach may be restricted in the near future. Councillor Gilbert's concerns follow a recent multi-agency inspection of the beach, where four-wheel drive access has been discussed. More than 1,600 people have liked Councillor Gilbert's Keep 9 Mile Beach Open Facebook page.
I like it.
Belmont Wetlands Trust, which manages the dunes, is preparing a dune management strategy and recreational needs study for the state government. So their point basically is that driving these big old Jeeps on it really fucks up the beach.
Yes. As I would imagine. If there's 5,000 of them.
5,000 Jeeps, that's going to fuck up anything it drives over.
The world could not handle that.
Previously, I thought this was like a kind of cute, funny, like, these people enjoy their thing. This is where it gets interesting.
Sure.
Mr. Ruth says thousands of Australian families participated in off-road driving every week. The right to use a four-wheel drive has become a mental health issue. It is well known that this is a quote from Mr. Ruth. It is well known that getting out in the bush or on the beach is a great way for families to spend time together. You don't have to do that in a Jeep, but okay.
No.
Mr. Ruth said the majority of four-wheel drive owners did not drive on Indigenous cultural areas or areas of revegetation.
Wait a second. Mm-hmm. He said the majority.
The majority, which means that there's a portion.
There's a portion. Some of that 5,000 Jeeps that were driving up to Cessnock were driving.
Now here's where it gets a little bit nasty.
Okay.
This is another quote from Mr. Ruth. Proposals to restrict four-wheel drive access are almost always pushed by people who don't like us. I know what they preach in Ranger School. It's basically soft left-wing politics. These fucking lefty rangers.
Oh, the bush rangers are dirty leftists.
Stopping us driving our Jeeps on the beach. How dare they?
What? Next thing you're going to be telling me I can't run over bloody kangaroos and wombats and everything, you leftist pigs.
Just because there's some Indigenous cultural areas and areas of revegetation that just, like, only a few people are driving over. It's not the majority.
This is the first time I've ever heard rangers being referred to as leftists.
These lefty nanny state bush rangers. More than 300 fines have been issued to four-wheel drive users since the introduction of a permit system on the coastal stretch 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. The Belmont Wetlands Trust employs 5 rangers who issue fines ranging from $75 to $255. Offences include littering, riding motorcycles on the dunes, dangerous driving, not having a permit, disobeying signage and regulations, and driving across vegetation. Outside of riding motorbikes on the dunes, which sounds sick.
That sounds badass.
It sounds pretty badass. Everything else, I kind of get why you'd find that.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm kind of behind that. And, like, they don't like the idea of a permit system, which is, like, yeah, they're like the Jeep NRA. And it's
the Jeep NRA, indeed. God, next thing you know, this lobby is going to be lobbying Parliament, politically.
They'll just encircle Parliament House in jeeps.
I'll admit, if I was the Prime Minister, if I was Malcolm Turnbull, and Parliament House was encircled with jeeps, I might feel slightly intimidated.
Yeah, I get that, because they're these needlessly giant cars that, like...
5,000 jeeps surrounding Parliament House.
What's fun about this as a form of protest is most protests are from the position of, like, underdogs. So if you're like a cyclist protest, like, you've got a lot of very small things. What's cool about this is that you're doing this from the position of the most dominant vehicle on the road. So you kind
Absolutely.
got this, like, 5,000 giant 2-ton fucking death machines. Like, it's ridiculous. Have you got any more stories?
Yeah, I have, well, part of a story that's quite funny to me. This is from the Kalgoorlie Miner.
Okay.
It says, councillors turn down live streaming of meetings.
Okay.
Now, this story isn't inherently funny, but there's one part which I find quite amusing.
I'm pretty down for that.
So for context, the City of Kalgoorlie-Boulder councillors were left divided on Monday night, debating if meetings should be live streamed online to increase community involvement. Councillor Glenn Wilson urged fellow councillors to rethink an officer recommendation to endorse the live streaming of council meetings. Councillor Wilson instead called for streaming, or streamed, to be removed from the recommendation, with councillors backing the suggestion in a 7-5 vote. Blah, blah, blah. Talking about this. So basically this town council wanted to live stream the meetings, but they've decided not to. Can you think of why they would decide not to live stream their meetings?
I know that whatever reason I come up with is not going to be as dumb as the reason that these people have chosen. We've been doing this for a few weeks now, and I've learnt there's
guessing
no
reasons. There's no point doing that
because theirs is going to be better.
Councillor Pendle said, although other WA local government bodies were live streaming meetings, he was totally bored when attempting to watch the City of Bunbury's live webcast.
That's a pretty good reason, I guess.
And that's about where the article ends.
Holy shit.
So their reason for not live streaming the meetings is because he was totally bored with watching another city's webcast.
Do you think people watch these as, like...
entertainment?
Like, hey, John, you want to come over watch the rugby league this weekend? Oh no, sorry, can't this week. I've got to watch the
City of Bunbury's live
Bunbury
webcast.
webcast of their council meeting. It's their 25th anniversary next week, so I want to hear about what kind of stuff they're doing to prepare for that. It's going to be great.
I like how he directly calls out the City of Bunbury, though.
Do you think he's watched some other live streams and has been like, these ones are good, but I don't think... I think we're at like a Bunbury level.
Yeah,
so...
we can't keep up with the ones that are good.
Jesus.
Anyway, it was the most petty reason.
That's lovely.
All right.
Let me see if I've got any fun little tidbits. Oh, here, this is in the Catherine Times.
Okay.
It just has my favourite headline ever. Fool climbed onto back of whale.
That is quite a foolish decision.
3 surfers who were at a South Coast beach might be able to help identify a fool who climbed onto the back of a Southern Ridge whale while it rested with its newborn calf.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
Who climbs on a whale? Who steals a shark?
Exactly. This is a very marine-heavy episode. Usually when I hear one of these like really hyperbolic article things, I'm like, well, that's a bit rude. But no, this is really fucking dumb. Like,
I would agree with the term fool for this.
Especially like this is it's got its like calf whale. The calf whale's probably bigger than him in of itself. Jeez.
It could probably eat him in one go.
So they get most of their grabs from New South Wales Environment Minister Gabrielle Upton.
I like how she's commenting on this.
This idiot not only endangered the mother and the calf and breached regulations, he also put himself in danger. Whales are wild creatures and a mother will protect her calf. This man is lucky he was not seriously hurt. Southern right whales can weigh at 80 tons, and when they decide to move, they can be lethal to people and boats that are too close. So this guy riding his whale would get fucked up, though. I can kind of see the appeal, though, in, like... You've watched the movie Whale Rider, right?
I've heard of the movie Whale Rider.
Okay, well, firstly, it's really good and you should watch it. Secondly, the girl in that is not a fool because she's communing with nature and her natural heritage, whereas this guy is a fool.
He's a fool. I'd like to see the dictionary definition of fool updated to just be
Just
man,
this guy.
What's the headline again? Sorry?
Climbed
Man-
onto back of whale. Fool climbed onto back of whale.
So the dictionary definition is fool. Someone who climbs onto the back of a whale.
Can I give one last one before we head off? And this one's not even funny. It's just really wholesome and it made me happy.
We've got lots of wholesome content tonight.
This is from... We've got a real mix. This is from the Yass Tribune, which I think might be the... They're a News Corp paper, but they're inexplicably the most, like, wholesome paper in the country, as far as I can tell.
Well, there you go.
The headline is, Immigrants are welcome.
Oh.
And that's basically...
That's a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
From News Corp. Yeah.
Yeah.
They sure are. They sure are.
Like, and the article is just being, like, talking about how they think that they should have a scheme developed to encourage immigrant people in Australia to move to country towns, and specifically Yass, and that they think it would solve a lot of problems. And,
yes.
like, good on you, Yass.
Good on you, Yass.
That's really lovely.
I can get behind that.
Thank you,
The
Yass.
guys from Queer Eye went out there and things have changed around Yass.
I still have to watch that one. I wonder if...
I've not watched a single episode.
Oh, it's good.
I'm being relatable.
So, do you think Yass is like... Do you think the Queer Eye changed Yass, or do you think that Yass has always been this way? Because neither of us have watched at least this episode of Queer Eye, so we'll never know until I watch it.
Well, I've been to Yass. I've stopped there at the McDonald's on the way to Canberra.
Did it seem wholesome?
It seemed like any other McDonald's that I've been to.
So not then.
Not particularly.
No, I've never been to a McDonald's and thought, this is a wholesome
This
experience.
is a wholesome joint.
I've normally thought, like, oh no, what is this going to do to me? What damage?
What will happen to my insides as I eat this?
And then I eat it anyway.
You do, and you feel awful, but you do it.
Do we want to finish up?
Absolutely.
I just want to say thank you to all of the lovely feedback we've had since our launch last week. People
I really appreciate. Yeah. People have said a lot of very nice things about the show, and I'm very excited to continue it. And Mum, I'm really sorry for how much I said fuck this episode. It was so much worse. You said it a lot more.
I said it a lot more.
Yes, thank you to my mum for listening. She subscribed on iTunes. Thank you, Mum.
If we get any listeners that aren't our mums, and if you find any stories that you think are cool, send them to redmenacecast@gmail.com, and we might include them in the show.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, I am Chris Bolson.
And I'm Ahor.
Yeah. I'm going to give you a little bit of teensy tiny bit of backstory for this final story, and that it is about a man in Dunedin. So this is the Otago Daily Times, who exposed himself. Now the headline is "Lewd Act Accused. Your record's not exactly flash."
Oh dear.
Thank you all, folks. Thank you. That's all, folks. There we go. Nailed it.
That's all, folks. Goodbye.